There is a mole right at the top of British intelligence. He's been there for years.
For 25 years, we've been the only thing standing between Moscow and the Third World War.
I understand that the book's author, John le Carré, conveyed a specific wish about what he did and did not want to see regarding a film version of Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy. Is that true?
Yes, the first time I met with him, I was quite nervous to meet the master himself. But he was very friendly and supportive, and he said, if this turns out to be a film, please don't do the book as it is, or even the TV series, because they already exist. Play around with it and make it yours. And that was a very relieving comment.
Patently a fabrication from beginning to end. Just could be the real thing.
Well, if it's genuine, it's gold dust. But its topicality makes it suspect.
What's your take on Bill Hayden and the leadership of the circus?
The book gives you a lot of information about him, but he has a distinguished World War II record. He was intellectually sort of off the chart. His confidence is to swaggering proportions, really. So all of those things are as much to do with his mask and his whole kind of shtick as they are with anything else.
Your character, George Smiley, of course, has been portrayed many times before. Was there any challenge to separating yourself from what others, I guess most notably Alec Guinness, have done with the role over the years?
Huge. Dracula is an iconic character, but you know, Francis did something completely different with it. He didn't feel that there were those inevitable comparisons with you and like Lugosi, because it was taken on a whole new direction. This is not the book. It's based on the book. It isn't the TV series, but that's quite a big dragon to slay. In the end, approached it, you know, much like you would a classical part. There's more than one Hamlet, more than one Romeo, more than one King Lear. It's open to reinterpretation, and along the way, you are going to arrive at the same things. Perhaps there are only so many ways you can say to be or not to be.
I have heard stories that selecting the eyeglasses for George Smiley became quite a drama. What's the story there?
Choosing the glasses, I think all his nerves about doing the part came into those glasses. So he tried hundreds of glasses, and every day there was a new MMS with a new pair of glasses, and yeah, why not? And interesting.
If you're called, you can't mention me. I'm sorry. You're alone.
I think Gwyneth is basically very wet behind the ears and a naive character in a world that's maturing very quickly around him and getting corrupt very quickly. And I think he has to play a horrific game of catch-up, and his loyalty to Smiley involves him having to spy on his own, which is probably the most loathsome thing he has to do professionally, but also it costs him his personal happiness and his relationship. That, again, is to protect his standing as a scalp hunter working on this internal investigation of MI6 from without it. He begins with a clear moral imperative and a sort of certitude about the esprit de corps and all the good things worth fighting for, the sort of well-defined bad guy or moral cause. By the end of the film, I think he's completely disenchanted with the whole thing. The only comeuppance is that in respecting and obeying his instinct to serve the right guy in the shape of Smiley, he gets rewarded.
For moviegoers raised on spy films like Bond, where the technology is very advanced, it's very flashy, it was fun to see a world where the most advanced equipment is a reel-to-reel.
Well, it's partly because that gives us the human dimension, but it's also interesting in terms of drama. Because if you can solve a problem with the push of a button, or an amazing machine that takes you from A to B in a nanosecond, then where's the conflict? But you could make a movie about how important it is to get a piece of information from A to B across 3,000 miles and all the things that could happen to a person on the way, or you can make a phone call.
Bond announces who he is everywhere he goes. He meets the bad guy and he tells him, I'm Bond, I'm James Bond. This is the polar, Smiley wants to he's like a chameleon. He just wants to kind of blend in with the surroundings, which of course is instantly forgettable. That's what makes him so dangerous.
It's become so ugly.
We're not so very different, you and I. We're both looking for the weaknesses in one another.